Hello and welcome to the Arizona Wildcats show. I'm Michael Lev. This is Zack Rosenblatt. We are with the Arizona Daily Star, and we are at Arizona Stadium, where the Wildcats lost again, 7th loss in a row, 49-24 to Colorado. Rather than rehash yet another lopsided defeat, we're going to talk specifically about the Wildcats quarterback situation tonight. Zach, you had a chance to talk to Anu Solomon this week. Give me a summation of where his head was at coming into this week.
A lot of it was him talking about just how he handled those 6 weeks where he was injured, and he got really down on himself, and he kind of lost a lot of confidence, and he just the thoughts crossing his head like, why am I playing? And I mean, it's alarming to hear that, but I mean it sort of makes sense when you consider everybody kind of jumped ship on him in Tucson and was ready to make Brandon Dawkins the hero, and they've all kind of shown that maybe none of them are the hero, at least not this season. And coming into this week, I kind of thought he would either, if not start, then get pretty significant playing time, and they didn't even bring him in until the game was already out of reach. And at that point, at this point, it doesn't even matter, honestly. I mean, to them it does, but the reality is, like, they put him in a situation where he wasn't going to succeed.
Right. I felt like I talked to him after the game against Washington State, and I felt like he was kind of feeling good about things a little bit. He's starting to feel a little better. He actually played decently. Yeah. I thought he was going to start. I thought that he was going to start against Washington State. Didn't turn out to be the case either time. But as you mentioned, by the time he did come in the game, it was 42-10 at that point. There were 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Basically an impossible situation. I was surprised that things went that way. Rich Rodriguez indicated that he wanted to get him in earlier in the game and that he might start next week against Oregon State. I thought, just for the sake of changing things up, giving the offense kind of a different feel, a different vibe, but Rich Rod did not go that way. Brandon Dawkins did rush well. Again, they moved the ball decently. But when they got in the red zone, things bogged down. Looking ahead now, what does the future hold at this position? I mean, there's a lot of different guys, a lot of moving parts. Kind of break it down a little bit for us.
I don't know. I feel like early in the season, we kind of viewed it as it was going to be a strength next year, if not this year. You have Khalil Tate returning, you have Brandon Dawkins in theory returning, you have Anu Solomon in theory returning, and you add a guy like Braxton Burmeister, who is viewed as one of the top quarterbacks in the West. And now they just all have shown that they all kind of have some flaws in their game, and they have a lot to work on this offseason. So it'll be interesting to see even if Braxton Burmeister can come in and steal the job, or if Khalil Tate makes a jump in the offseason, if he can steal it away from Dawkins and Anu. I think it's all we're going to be talking about again next year, if not more so, because there's so many more bodies, and you even have Rhett Rodriguez, who nobody really expects to play, but he knows the offense, and it's going to be a very interesting position. In theory, it's deep, which Rich Rod likes a lot, but we just don't know who's the guy, who might be the guy, and who's the most talented guy at the position, which is kind of weird if you think about just where we were thinking about this position months ago.
Right. We obviously don't know if Anu's going to be back. We believe that he's on course to graduate, which would enable him to transfer to another FBS school without sitting out a year.
Burmeister still has to sign on the dotted line.
Burmeister still has to sign. It is the one position where they have depth, though, Zach, so that's a good thing. They don't have a lot of depth on this roster. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. You can check out Zach's work and my work at Tucson.com. Thanks for watching.